everybody. Welcome to Tammy Talks. We are here today to talk Ready to Love, Season 4, Episode 2. Welcome to Chocolate City. So, if you are brand new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the video on your way in or your way out. Either way, if you enjoyed the content, leave some comments down below. Let's get into this, y'all, because a lot happened just in this first episode. If you are coming back because you've been rocking with me from other shows and stuff, what up, y'all? Good to see you. Let's get started, y'all. So the episode starts off with Carrington and Aisha arriving first. Tyrone and Sabrina arrive next. So Sabrina says that she was born in Korea, and Tyrone said that was great. You know, he thinks that they have a connection because he said that he became a man in Korea. So when he was in the service, he was stationed there. Y'all, Tyrone starts singing some song. Tyrone starts singing some song, and everybody, including Sabrina, was like, "No, I don't know that. No, I don't know that." I was like, Lord. And it was at that moment that I was like, Tyrone ain't gonna make it, y'all. Tyrone is not going to, he's not gonna gel well. He seems a little socially awkward. But all right. So Walter came in next, and Walter is bald with a nice salt and pepper beard. Walter is very handsome, very attractive, and he was immediately attracted to Sabrina and vice versa. So they both did their confessionals, and they were both like, "Yeah, yeah, that's who I'm gonna keep my eye on for." I like them together aesthetically. Just off of first glances from that initial meeting, they look good together. So Frank comes next, and Frank has a nice, deep, sexy voice. Um, Smooth. He gives me like Quiet Storm radio, talk radio at night. His beard is definitely saving him though. If Frank didn't have that beard, I don't know. I don't know. So then we have Corey and Courtney. They hit it off right away, or so we thought. And off rip, Corey's asking for her number. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, you just met her, but okay, all right, that's fine. But then I had to remember Corey is the copy paste guy, so I already knew where this was headed. I knew this was going down and fast. I knew it. So nephew Tommy comes out. He says that two people are going home tonight. One guy, one girl, and that the guys kind of vote on who they think should go home from the women's side. The women vote on who they think should go home from the men's side. So make every conversation count. You know what I mean? Make the most of your time. Don't dilly daddle around. Don't be kind of standoffish. Like, this is a situation where you have to get into it, get into the thick of it. So I feel like everybody hears it and is kind of like, okay, yeah, I got to really get my stuff together. Everybody looks decent. I mean, the men are, for the most part, look extremely handsome. The women are dressed nicely. It's a few concerns about some women's hair, but I'm not gonna judge. But there were some concerns by this being your first meeting. And you're gonna be on TV. How some of these wigs and weaves were placed, but I mean, no judgment. So Corey is talking to, or Corey actually walks up to Carrie, who is sitting with another woman, and asks, "Can I talk to you for a minute? Just for a moment, just for a moment." And she was like, "Okay, damn," because she just sat down with her drink. And he puts her to the side, and he asked her, would she like to go on a date on Friday or Sunday? And I was like, Friday or Sunday? Then I had to think back. I said, oh, because he probably has the date already on Saturday because he got Courtney's number. So she was like, are you asking me out on a date? And he was like, well, yeah. So Carrie said, to do what? What are we going to do? And he was like, well, I don't know. We can figure something out. And so Corey said that he is going to live and die by his copy paste. You heard? So here's my thing with that. It didn't work before you got to the house. It didn't work before you got on the show. You have said yourself that only the first dates work for you, the second dates don't work. Copy paste is not going to work here, sir. It's not going to work. Um, it's not going to work. And really, it just reminded me of The Wood. Y'all remember the movie The Wood when they would go to the little middle school dances and the high school dances, and they would try to get as many numbers as they could by the end of the night. That's exactly what Corey reminded me of. And I was like, this is not going to work. I can feel it. It's not going to work. Corey is also the guy who, if I recall correctly, said he had the three S's, six figures, six pack, and he was 6 feet tall. Copy and paste that shit somewhere else, my guy, because that's not gonna work. So then we have Tissia and Carrington, who talk about whether or not Carrington is ready for a relationship. He said he doesn't mind answering the tough questions, but he felt like she was asking him the same question over and over, just in different ways, and she was. So it went from her being like, "So you still out dipping and slipping?" "No, I'm ready to settle down." "So you still out sneaking and deaking?" And he was like, "No, ready to settle down." And she's like, "You still out being sneaky leaks?" And you can tell that he was getting irritated by the line of questioning. And I don't think it's because he's not ready. But my thing is, if you ask me a question and I give you an answer, don't keep asking me the same question over and over. You know what I mean? Like, what reason would you have to keep questioning him? It was weird. Um, this was just the first red flag that I saw from Tissia, and how she was, kind of leading these conversations. So we have Cornelius and Camille. They're sitting on the couch and they're having great conversation. I love Cornelius. He is so handsome. He has such a gorgeous smile. He seems, because we don't know these people, y'all. He seems like a good guy. So they're having good conversation, and then Camilla's in her confessional, and she said, "Yeah, Cornelius is my boyfriend already." And I said, "Oh, girl." Oh, girl, I can see how this is going to go. So, Cornelius was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, because everybody needs to mingle." And he was like, "But I mean, because she tells him, 'So you're my boyfriend now.'" He said, "Well, we do got that whole CNC thing going together, Corey Camille." She rolls her eyes and was like, "My name is spelled with a K." Girl, Camille is typically spelled with a C. If your name is Camille with a K, I respect it, and that's awesome. But traditionally, when someone tells you their name is Camille, you're anticipating it being it spelled with a C. Don't get an attitude about that. So I was already kind of like, Camille is a lot. One, for you thinking that's your boyfriend already. And then two, for you being mad at the way that he jokingly was like, "CC." Like, it wasn't that big of a deal for you to get upset about. Girl, bye. So then we see Tissia and Walter, and they're having a conversation, and she tells him, "You're handsome, good looking, or whatever. Do you want kids?" And Walter says, "Yeah, I do. I would love to have kids." And she says, "So what's wrong with you? Why you don't have none?" And it's like, Tissia. I don't know which way. I heard people say her name both ways, but it's like, girl, why would you? Is that how people? Is that how you talk to people? No wonder you're single. That's not something that you don't ask people stuff like that. He took it in stride, and he told her, he was like, "Well, I was with someone. I was with I was with my wife for 9 years. We were at the point when we were ready to have kids. They were together for 9 years while she was going through post secondary school and stuff like that." He said they got married, then they were going to start the process of having kids or prepping to have children. And she had a cyst on her ovary, and she ended up passing away a week after having her surgery. So now you look stupid, because it's not a matter of him just being out sticking and moving. He's a widow who got widowed while they were kind of in the process of having kids. And that's why you can't ask questions like that, and you can't phrase questions like that. But all right then, girl. So we see Lamont and Aisha. Lamont and Aisha are sitting down, and Aisha is kind of telling him, "Yep, I was divorced for, I just got divorced because of this, that, and the other. And so now I done got myself together and I'm ready to, move on and get to a point where I can do, get back out there and get to dating. And Lamont said, yeah, I work in cyber tech security, but I do spoken word. And he spit some, because my girl, when you do this, it was nice. And it was like, absolutely not. So that turned Aisha off right away. Right away. She was like, okay, so I'm sitting here trying to talk to you, trying to have a conversation with you, a connection with you. I'm spitting some real stuff to you. And here you come, like, rapping, giving me bars, my guy. Like, I died. I'm sick that they didn't show us more of him doing the spoken word, because Aisha was not the only one he did that to. I guarantee that is a part of his spiel. That's a part of his game, his flow. He tries to spit bars at people. So Phil and Sabrina are having a conversation. Phil is extremely handsome too. Corey walks over, and I said Corey is gonna get on my nerves tonight if he don't do nothing else. Corey walks over while they're talking and was like, excuse me, Sabrina, can I talk to you for a minute? And Sabrina's kind of like, I mean, should I guess? So he was like, you can stay right there. I just need to talk to her for just a moment. So he asked her, like, leans in and was like, do you find me attractive? And she was like, what? I guess I would get to know you. And he tells her, do you want to go out on a date? Can we exchange numbers? She said, I would have to talk to you a little bit more. I said, Corey is the epitome of self-imploding right now. Lord have mercy. I have never seen anything so jarring and just like, nigga, what? So we did see Sabrina and Walter, who are having a good conversation, where she asked him, does he want kids? And he asked her, does she want any more kids because she does have a daughter? She says no. So I kind of already was like, Walter does want kids. I don't know if that's something he would be willing to sacrifice. So in my mind, even though they look cute together, I don't think it will work unless he's willing to not have children, or she's going to be willing to bend and have more kids. But they're talking, and she expresses that she is her parents' caregiver. So I think she said her dad has dementia, so her mom is taking care of her. It might be the other way around. But as a result of that, she is then her parents' caregiver. And she's just saying how it's a lot for her to have to deal with, and she doesn't have anybody that she can really vent to about it. So everything just starts to come out, and she ends up, she gets emotional and she starts to tear up a little bit. And Walter's a gentleman, so he gives her his handkerchief, and he said that he completely understands how she feels because he was his mother's caregiver for 3 years, and she ended up dying in his arms. And I said, damn, Walter, your wife died, your mama died in your arms. And I'm like, Walter has had a go of it. Oh my God. And I think they had a really good connection. They seemed really cute together. Like I said, they were the only potential couple that I saw throughout this entire episode that I was like, okay, they might actually be good together. So then we see Libba sitting on the couch with Frank and Aisha, and they're talking about tattoos. And Frank was just kind of like, yeah, tattoos are just whatever to me, Sometimes they're short and quick, and sometimes they're deep and long. Libba's grown 44-year-old ass was like, that's what she said. And Frank it was at that moment that he was turned off. He was turned off from that. So then she starts talking about her tattoos, and she said that she has a family tree on her back. And Frank was like, oh, okay, cool, because I got one on my arm. So then she's like, yeah, and then I have an infinity love symbol. And then she starts like naming her tattoos, and Aisha was like, "The fuck is going on here? What is going on here?" So they kind of dismiss her in a way, or I think she kind of gets the hint. I think she kind of gets the hint that this ain't working. So she excuses herself, and then they kind of have a joke about where Aisha is like, "You don't ran her off." Frank was like, "Nah, it's just that her bubbly personality is a little too bubbly for me." So we see Naeem and Zadia. Now Naeem said in his intro in the Meet the Cat special, he wanted a natural woman with a natural hairstyle and no makeup. So I'm confused as to why he's talking to Zadia, who clearly had makeup on. She didn't have a lot of makeup on, but she clearly had makeup on. Naeem gives me he comes across very hotepish, and I don't see it for him. I have nothing for him. I like honestly I zoned out during that conversation. So then we see Dante and Shiloh. Um and they're talking about they had a really deep conversation. So they're talking about their upbringings. She said that her dad moved back to Trinidad. He said, wait, my stepdad is Trini. So they have that type of connection. And then she talks about the abandonment issues that she does have. And what I liked about their conversation was Dante didn't just be like, oh, damn, okay, and kind of write her off about it. He kind of asked her, so like, what are you doing to work through this? What are you doing to, kind of help yourself get through that? And I was like, that was super dope in him because a lot of times when you hear people saying that they have abandonment issues, the other person that they're telling that to or that they're talking to kind of doesn't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? A lot of times people are just like, oh, damn, okay. Okay, Dante asks like the correct questions. So that was cool to see. So then we get a scene where it's about 4 or 5 of the women and Corey, and they're sitting around talking, and Corey asks somebody out on the date, and they're like, "Wait, I thought you were going out with me on Sunday." "No, I'm going out with Corey a different day." So Corey gets caught up, and Corey tells them, "Well, yeah, I'm asking everybody out on a date because how else am I supposed to get to know people? Right now it's so many of us around, and I would rather get you to a point where it's just us." And it's like, Corey, this game is not working, sir. This ain't what it is. You want to get these women off camera to have dates so that your foolishness and whatever game you're trying to run on every single one isn't recorded as if these women are not going to talk. So all the women are kind of like, my guy, so you're asking everybody the same question? So now the women are going around asking all the other women, did Corey ask you out on the date, girl? Did you talk to Corey? Did he get your phone number? And I'm like, Corey, you on your way to being in control or delete, my guy. This is not what you want. This is not it. This is not it. So Nephew Tommy goes and starts talking to some of the men, kind of asking them how they felt about the women and who was kind of at the bottom for them. And a lot of the women kind of said like Libba because they didn't quite like her line of questioning, and Tissia because they didn't quite like her line of questioning. And just not even a line of questioning, but kind of how she was asking her questions. And then for the women, they were saying Corey and Lamont because they said Lamont, it felt like more of a job interview when he was talking to them. It didn't feel like natural conversation. So Corey meets with Nephew Tommy. And he's like, I'm ready to just scrap the whole playbook. The copy paste just ain't working. I'm gonna have to try something else. And it's like, why did you bring the same failed dating mentality that you had before into this house? Why would you think that it was gonna work? You know what I mean? It was very weird. Like he is just defeated. So everybody gets grouped back together, and Nephew Tommy lets them know. Okay, so these are the two men that are on the chopping block. We have Lamont and we have Corey. And Corey was like, I already knew this shit. Like they can send me home because he's like his energy is low. Energy is low. Ultimately, Lamont got sent home. Why did Lamont get sent home? Because Corey is cuter. So then we have for the women, Libba and Tissia. Libba is like, oh my God, no. Whereas Tissia is pissed. So she's like, I got 4 men's phone numbers today. What the fuck? Like, she is pissed. So Libba ultimately goes home. She's a good sport about it. And she's like, well, they made the right choice because my forever man is not here anyways. So, she's a good sport about it. Whereas Tissia is now pissed and she's like, well, they can send me home because this is some bullshit here. And it's like, girl, not you being mad. Not you being mad. I mean, you have to understand it's going to be a ratio. So let's say you had a connection with 4 of the men. Great. What about the other 6? 6 is bigger than 4. I said, Tissia, on top of the fact that the way that you were asking people questions, the line of questions you were asking, the types of questions you were asking, the faces you were making with stuff, girl, you lucky you didn't get sent home. This season's going to be good, though, guys. So, if you have made it through the 22 minutes of this video, kudos to you. Go ahead. Please subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed the content. Let me know down in the comments below who you're rocking with this season, how you felt about everybody, what people you think will group up good together, and why is Copy Paste still here. Check y'all next week.